I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons. First, thank you so much to my Bibliosprand, Biblioholler, Bibliomancers, and my new Bibliomancer, Lara. It means a lot to me that you are giving me your extra support toward my passion and hobby. Hi everyone, Petrik here. So for today's video, this will be SFF Spotlight episode number 80. So yeah, 80 episodes, amazing, right? So usually, when it comes to the matter of SFF Spotlight, almost all of my topics tend to be positive, but I don't think that will be the case this time, not in this episode. Salty Petrik will have to be out for a while anyway. But for those of you who are new here, this is a series of videos where I usually talk about new book news, new cover reveal, new Kickstarter campaign, and also new special edition in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. So let's get the bad news out of the way first. So this is about the fake Sword of Kaigen by M.R. Darren or whatever their name is. For this one, this is obviously trying to scam readers to buying what they think is the Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. And this is using AI for the cover art and also for the content, definitely. And this is why I try to, well, make a stance against AI art, because I'm not a fan of AI art in general because it steals from artists and all that. But this is just one of those bad examples of how it can be used to scam people into buying products they think they were buying, because the Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang is now popular indie fantasy books, and I'm really happy for that. And as a huge advocate for the Sword of Kaigen and as a huge supporter for M.L. Wang, because I love all of her books, well, this is just super offensive, okay? I went to the Amazon page and just click and report every single bad thing about this book, and I think I need to give not a spotlight, but to give an exposure and just how bad AI art can be, AI stuff can be. And this is not the only case. The Way of Kings, it has happened to The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and it has also happened to Alchemized by SenLinYu, the upcoming Alchemized by SenLinYu. I don't have the cover art here. I think it has been taken down from Amazon, but when the cover art to Alchemized by SenLinYu was announced, well, immediately there was an AI similar to the Sword of Kaigen, an AI cover art and also an AI content book of Alchemized whatever in the Amazon store. So this is an example of why so many artists are so disapproving of AI, generative artificial intelligence stuff in general, and I agree with them. So yeah, I think I have to inform you about this. But moving on to the next topic, let's talk about the good stuff, and this is about a real new book. Well, a potential anyway, because this is about the next First Law. So Joe Abercrombie has mentioned in an interview with Collectible Book Vault and also Curious King that he has teased a bit about what's going to happen next in the First Law. So there's a chance that after the completion of the Devil's trilogy, or maybe more, he will return to the world of the First Law. There's a really good chance of that happening. I will leave the link to the interview in the comment section down below. It contains a lot of good details about the Devils and also about Special Edition and also what's to come next after the First Law. But to put it simply, there is really a big chance that the next set of the First Law world, it will be another standalone trilogy. So it will be just like the First Law trilogy, and then the Great Levelers trilogy, which is the standalone trilogy, and then we have Age of Madness trilogy, and now, well, it has been confirmed, well, positively confirmed, that the next one will be another standalone trilogy, and I assume after that we will have another series like the First Law and then the Age of Madness. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. The First Law world is really my favorite grimdark series in novels, not counting manga, but when it comes to novels, this is my favorite grimdark series, and I love the Devils as well. And speaking of Joe Abercrombie, moving on to the next topic, this is about an artist who have worked on Joe Abercrombie's books, specifically the Subterranean Press of the Great Levelers trilogy. So I'm talking about Raymond Swanland. So let's talk about Special Edition. This one is only for 2 books, and then I will talk about 2 Kickstarter campaign, and then I will talk about new book news again. So for this edition, this is about Hyperion by Dan Simmons, the Broken Binding edition. So this one, I got to work on Hyperion as an art director with Raymond Swanland. This still feels surreal to me because I've been a huge fan of Raymond Swanland for more than a decade, but the features, all of them, have been rebuilt. So we have the dust jacket by Raymond Swanland, a new dust jacket, and then also the original cover art by Gary Ruddell. So, well, readers can choose. If they don't like the new cover art by Raymond Swanland, they can just switch to the previous cover art, to the original cover art by Gary Ruddell. But on top of that, there are new end papers and also new board art, plus 6 black and white interior illustrations and edges, all of them done by Raymond Swanland. I'm really proud of this and I'm really happy to see all the positive results. I want to do the best for this classic, but at the same time, I don't want to replicate the things that Gary Ruddell has done. I mean, there's no point. Gary Ruddell has done such an excellent job on this, so I want to do something different together with Raymond Swanland. And this swirl of energy in the dust jacket, immediately I thought of Raymond Swanland and I chose him to be the artist, and I worked with him in all the illustrations. I think Raymond Swanland is a terrific artist, and I already look forward to starting our work on the Fall of Hyperion and then the books in the Endymion series, which I still have to read. But for all the details for this edition, the price is 35. I think it's £35 in the general sale, which will take place in February. I will leave the link to the details in the description down below. And then after that, moving on to the next special edition, I want to give a spotlight to the Grim Oak Press edition of the Book of the Ancestor by Mark Lawrence with an illustration by Francesca Resta. So Book of the Ancestor trilogy is my favorite series by Mark Lawrence, and it is getting a Grim Oak Press treatment. This is an omnibus edition. It will contain Red Sister, Grey Sister, and then Holy Sister. And yeah, it features a new gorgeous cover art by Francesca Resta, plus black and white interior illustrations. I think in total there will be 10 interior illustrations, and the general sale for this one will take place on the 5th of February, so about 2 weeks from now. But if you own a copy of Red Queen's War or maybe The Broken Empire, it's only for Red Queen's War. So if you own a copy of Red Queen's War Omnibus Edition, it is possible to buy the Book of the Ancestor Trilogy Omnibus Edition. Now, I definitely will try my best to get a copy of this one because, as I said, Book of the Ancestor Trilogy is my favorite series by Mark Lawrence. But that's it on the coverage of special editions. Now let's move on to the coverage of Kickstarter campaigns. So for the first Kickstarter campaign, I want to spotlight. This is, of course, for my collaboration with Wraithmarked. So, well, it has been revealed for the front and back illustrations for the deluxe edition bookmark, deluxe bookmark that I will sign in the upcoming Kickstarter campaign in February. Well, it has been revealed that I will be on one side of the illustration and then Chocoboy will be on another side of the illustration. But of course, the highlight is Chocoboy with his samurai armor. And well, I got this mock-up, so you can see it here for the first time. Ta-da! This is me in a wizard clothing with my books, magical books, and you can see the silver foil here. And then on the back, we have Chocoboy. Ta-da! This is really my favorite part of this bookmark. And yeah, I will be signing this bookmark when the Kickstarter campaign goes live in the month of February. I think not long from now. And if you decided to get this limited edition bookmark, it will really make my day and also make Chocoboy's day. Seriously, it will make us really happy. And as I said, the main purpose for me in making this bookmark is really because I want Chocoboy to always be remembered by readers, not only by me, but of course by readers who view my channel as well, because Chocoboy is just, well, he's my best friend and I treasure him so much. So yeah, this one, the one with my illustration it features a silver foil, and then the one with Chocoboy, it features a gold foil. There will be more details about this coming really soon, but the Kickstarter page is up now, and you can check the Kickstarter page if you're interested in it. But moving on to the topic of books, the Kickstarter campaign for special edition book that I want to spotlight today, there's only one book, and it is for Bastion by Phil Tucker. This is the first book in the Great Immortal Souls series. It is not a trilogy, it is a series. And yeah, this is turning into such a gorgeous edition. This special edition will come with a Smithsoon binding and also acid-free paper, plus cover art by Jonas Hassibi And then interior illustrations by Mona Finden and end paper artwork by Mansik Yang. And yeah, I have read only 25% of Bastion by Phil Tucker, and I really enjoyed it. But back then, because this book was too big for my reading mood back then, so I decided to drop it. And then I will continue again. I will continue reading this series again when the time comes, and hopefully that time is not long from now. But yeah, the Kickstarter campaign for this one has been fully funded, and it's turning into such a gorgeous edition. I think it will try its best to compare against Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar. It really seems like it. I own Dawn of the Void. If you watch my book haul videos, then you know that I own Dawn of the Void Omnibus Edition by Phil Tucker, published by Matic Books as well. And I think this one will be even more beautiful. But that's it on the coverage of Special Edition and also Kickstarter campaign. Now let's talk about new books. And also this will feature new cover reveal as well. And speaking of cover reveal, I want to spotlight the first one here. This is for, I think some of you might know, this is for a booktube channel or booktubers, well, Talking Story. And this is his debut novel. I got the chance to reveal this one to the public. So this is the cover art for Discovery by J.A.J. Minton. And I haven't read this book yet, but it seems like this book has been gaining a lot of, well, plenty of great receptions from early advanced reading copy readers. And yeah, I will leave the details in the description down below. But this is also the blurb of the novel. And well, let me tell you that this is the first book in the strange Eons, and it actually sounded super interesting and unique. Well, not a lot of fantasy books or sci-fi books features this kind of premise, so I highly encourage you to pick up this book when it's available. But I want to say thank you so much to J.A.J. Minton for allowing me to feature this book on my SFF Spotlight, and also congratulations, this is amazing stuff. And then for the next one, this is not a new book, this is a new cover reveal though. This is for The Storm Beneath the World by Michael Fletcher, one of my favorite grimdark authors. And yeah, this features a new cover art and design by Rachel St Clair. So this book has been out for quite a while now. This is turning into well, one of Michael R. Fletcher's most positively rated grimdark fantasy novel. I think it is grimdark, but I could be wrong because I haven't read this one yet. But the rating right now on Goodreads sits at 4.5 average ratings, even though not too many people have read it, but you cannot deny that this is a high average rating. And I look forward to reading this one. The new cover art is a total departure from the previous cover art by Andrew Malesky, but I like both. I think I like the new one even more. It's all about vibes of the book, but I think Rachel St. Clair did a great job with the cover art here. And I look forward to reading The Storm Beneath the World by Michael R. Fletcher. But now, let's talk about traditional published books. The first one, I talk about this a bit in the beginning of this video. This is about Alchemized by SenLinYu. Now, some of you might have read the fanfic version, I guess, the previous version of this book. It's called Manacled. This is a fanfiction of Harry Potter about Hermione and also Draco Malfoy. It takes place in a setting, well, it took place in a setting where Voldemort won the war. And yeah, I will leave it at that. So that's the premise of the fanfic, and also combine that with Handmaid's Tale and you get Manacled. So after that, it has been picked up by traditional publishing. It became Alchemized. Of course, the name of the character has to change as well, but I think some of the dark stuff, I haven't read this one. This is based on what I heard. But apparently the previous version, the Manacled version, is supposed to be incredibly dark. And I think some of the darker stuff, based on what I heard, will be cut off or edited in Alchemized. But this new edition, this traditional published edition, it will comes out in the month of September, at the end of September. And it features a cover art by Eva Eller. And I actually look forward to reading this one. I'm kind of curious to find out why so many people love this book. And well, of course, we all don't know whether this version will be as good as Manacled or not. Well, at the very least, we know that this will receive a new round of editings from traditional publishers. And I hope that means good thing for the prose and also for the storytelling and narrative. So yeah, I look forward to reading this one. This is the real Alchemized, not the previous one that I mentioned, the one with the AI content, not that. But then moving on to the next one, this is about the Tainted Khan by Taran Matharu. This is the sequel to the Dragon Rider, and it features a new cover art by Tomislav Tomic. And yeah, this is of course about a Dragon Rider fantasy story, just like The Band and the Broken, and then the Echo Saga by Philip Sequential. The Band and the Broken is by Ryan Cahill, and possibly The Songs of Chaos by Michael Miller. So yeah, this is another Dragon Rider epic fantasy, and I haven't read the Dragon Rider yet. Hopefully I can get to that really soon. But this is the UK cover art. I don't think the US cover art has been revealed, although I did see it already, but I don't think it has been revealed to the public yet. Maybe, I could be wrong about this. But anyway, I look forward to reading this one eventually. I still have plenty of Dragon Rider's epic fantasy that I need to read. Well, specifically Ryan Cahill's books, Philip Sequential, and also Michael Miller. So probably after those three, the three musketeers, as I usually say, after these three musketeers of Dragon Riders, I think I will get to Taran Matharu's books. And then onward to the next topic. This is for the Namelesss Land by Kate Elliott. This just received a new cover reveal by Raja Nandepu. I think that's how you pronounce the name, Raja Nandepu. And this is the sequel to The Witch Roots. Both books are not out yet, so I'm not sure whether this will be a duology or maybe a trilogy, but the cover art, the soft color, the pink, and also the focus on the characters here, and also the object, I think this is turning into a beautiful set of cover art. And I don't know too much about this one. Of course, the book isn't, well, the first book isn't even out yet, so I will look forward to reading Kate Elliott's fantasy books. I have read her sci-fi novels. I forgot the name right now, but I will put the cover art here. But yeah, I have read that novel, which is a reimagining of Alexander the Great in a space opera setting. But other than that, I haven't read anything by Kate Elliott yet, even though Ken Liu highly recommend me to check out her book. So I definitely will have to fix that as soon as possible. And then moving on to the next one, this is about Red City by Mary Lou, her first adult fantasy novel. And I cannot deny that this cover art by Micaela Alcaino is really catching, but at the same time, the premise probably catches my eyes and attention even more, because you can change the names and also the setting, the name of the city to, well, elements from the Greenbone Saga, and it will match. The premise is completely similar to the Greenbone Saga or JCD by Fondali. Even the name is similar. Now, I'm not assuming anything here. I'm just saying that if you compare the premise of these two, you will find a lot of similarities. So I don't know, maybe I will end up loving Red City. I haven't read anything by Mary Lou yet, but yeah, well, I look forward to reading this one when it's available, I think within this year. As for the rest of the news that I'm going to spot today, these are for Orbit books. The first one is Blood for the Undying Throne by Sung Il Kim, and also, once again, the cover art is absolutely gorgeous, and it is illustrated by Dominic Mayer. I think Dominic Mayer has this unique style, unique and distinct style that always catches my attention, especially when he's drawing knights and dragons or really anything. I think he's the best when he puts gold in his cover art or in his illustrations, and I'm really happy to see Dominic Mayer illustrating fantasy books now, fantasy book covers. And yeah, this is turning into another beautiful cover art after Blood of the Old Kings, which I still need to read. But this is the second book in a trilogy, and yeah, it is turning into a beautiful set of trilogy, and I hope the books will be as good as the cover art by Dominic Mayer. And now we arrive at the final topic of this SFF Spotlight. This is for the final book in the Lands of the Firstborn series by Garrett Hanrahan. And the title of this book, it is called The Sword Triumphant, and it features a cover art by Thea Dumitriu. And I have been waiting to read this series for quite a while because I'm a big fan of the Black Iron legacy that begins with the Gutter Prayer by Garrett Hanrahan. And I wanted to read The Sword Defiant, but you know what? I decided to just wait for the trilogy to be completed, and it will finally be completed this year. And the cover art, I think this is the best one of the entire trilogy, and I look forward to reading the Lands of the Firstborn trilogy. Hopefully I will end up enjoying this as much as the Gutter Prayer, or maybe even more. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode of SFF Spotlight. Yeah, not too many topics, not too many special editions, and probably that's probably for good things. They're probably good things because I know that many people felt a bit overwhelmed by the number of special edition popping up every week. But anyway, do let me know what you think about the news that I spotted in today's episode of SFF Spotlight. And like always, I just want to say thank you so much for always supporting my channel. It hasn't been always easy, but I try my best to, well, make sure that you benefit from watching my YouTube channel, or maybe from reading my reviews on Goodreads or on my blog's Novel Notion. But yeah, again, as I said, let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.